The vast darkness of space stretched endlessly, broken only by the soft hum of the exploration vessel horizon. Captain Jay Huang stood at the central command, his eyes fixed on the holographic display that mapped their trajectory through the Orion sector. The ship was a marvel of human engineering, sleek and powerful, yet appearing almost unremarkable to the untrained eye. Lieutenant Byung-ki monitored the communication systems, his fingers dancing across the translucent interface. Suddenly, a harsh crackle interrupted the quiet hum of the ship's systems. An alien transmission burst through, its language a series of clicks and guttural sounds that the ship's AI rapidly translated. Unidentified human vessel, the translation came through. You have entered Kreltok sovereign space. Prepare for immediate surrender and biological assessment. Jay raised an eyebrow. The arrogance was familiar, another alien civilization believing in its absolute superiority. He'd seen this pattern before in previous deep space encounters. Dr. Yoon G. Park, the ship's chief scientific officer, leaned closer to the communication panel, her expression a mixture of curiosity and mild amusement. The Kreltok ships surrounded the horizon, massive constructs of metallic purple and deep green, their weapon systems clearly powered and ready. They were imposing, easily 3 times the size of the human vessel. Their communication continued, demanding complete submission and promising minimal biological extraction if the humans complied. Byung-ki looked at Jay, a slight smile breaking his otherwise professional demeanor. They both knew what was coming. We do not recognize your territorial claims, Jay responded, his voice calm and measured. This is an open exploration mission under the United Earth Space Exploration Protocol. The alien response was immediate and predictable. Threats of destruction, claims of human inferiority, demands for immediate capitulation. Standard colonial rhetoric that had been repeated countless times throughout galactic history. What the Kreltok didn't realize was that the horizon was far from a simple exploration vessel. Beneath its unassuming exterior lay technologies that would reshape their understanding of technological capability. Dr. Park had ensured that every system was prepared, every defensive mechanism calibrated to perfection. The ship's AI, a quantum-based intelligence named Area, began running complex probability scenarios. Threat assessment, potential conflict outcomes, defensive strategies, all calculated in microseconds. The alien fleet believed they were dealing with a vulnerable target. They were wrong. Jay watched the alien ships position themselves, their weapon signatures charging. He could see the excitement in their formation, the anticipation of an easy conquest. Primitive civilizations often made such mistakes. Maintain standard communication protocols, Jay instructed Byung-ki. Let them believe we are uncertain. The tension on the bridge was palpable. Each crew member knew their role. Each system was synchronized with mathematical precision. They weren't just a ship. They were a carefully constructed instrument of human potential. As the Kreltok fleet prepared their first strike, Jay allowed himself a small, almost imperceptible smile. The universe was about to learn something important about humanity. The first weapon discharge from the alien ships was bright and powerful, cutting through the darkness of space like a knife. But something was different. Instead of impact, instead of destruction, something else entirely was about to happen. The horizon wasn't just waiting. It was preparing, and the Kreltok had no idea what was coming. Would you like me to continue with the next part of the story? The first energy burst from the Kreltok fleet should have obliterated the horizon. Instead, something extraordinary happened. The weapon's intense plasma beam seemed to ripple and dissolve inches from the human vessel's surface, like water against an invisible shield. Lieutenant Byung-ki watched the sensor readings with growing excitement. The quantum adaptive defense system was working perfectly. Each alien weapon discharge was being analyzed, its energy signature instantly decoded and neutralized before it could cause any damage. Defensive protocols at maximum efficiency, Area's calm voice announced through the bridge speakers. Captain, Jay Huang remained perfectly still, his hands resting lightly on the command interface. To the Kreltok, it would look like the humans were simply waiting to be destroyed. But every millisecond was a calculated response, every moment a strategic preparation. The alien fleet began to realize something was wrong. Their most powerful weapons were having no effect. What should have been a simple extermination was turning into something entirely unexpected. Panic began to spread through their communication channels, subtle at first, then growing more frantic. Dr. Yoon-Ji Park monitored the technological interactions. The Krell-Talk weapons were impressive by most galactic standards, complex energy systems that could theoretically destroy entire planetary bases. But human technology operated on an entirely different level of understanding. Adaptive response at 99.7% efficiency, Area reported. The ship's AI was learning, adjusting, predicting alien weapon patterns faster than the Krell-Talk could change their attack strategies. The first wave of alien fighter units moved into attack formation. Sleek vessels with razor-sharp designs, they represented the pinnacle of Krell-Talk military engineering. They approached the horizon from multiple angles, believing they would find a weak point. They found nothing. Each attack was absorbed, redirected, or simply nullified. The human vessel didn't even need to fire a single weapon. It was defense turned into a form of aggressive technology that the Krell-Talk couldn't comprehend. Byung-Ki began tracking the psychological impact on the alien fleet. Their communication channels were filling with confusion, then fear. Tactical discussions became panicked exchanges. How could a single vessel resist their entire attack force? Jay understood the psychological warfare aspect of this encounter. It wasn't just about technological superiority. It was about demonstrating a fundamental misunderstanding of human capability. The Krell-Talk had assumed humanity was a young, primitive species. They were about to learn a very expensive lesson. Arya began calculating precise countermeasures, not to destroy, but to demonstrate. The ship's systems prepared a response that would communicate more effectively than any verbal message. The first group of alien fighters suddenly found their systems compromised. Navigation controls went haywire. Weapon systems shut down. Propulsion became unpredictable. It wasn't destruction. It was complete technological neutralization. Hundreds of sophisticated combat vessels were transformed into helpless drifting objects within seconds. Dr. Park allowed herself a slight smile. Technological communication initiated, she muttered. The Krell-Talk fleet was experiencing something beyond conventional warfare. This wasn't just resistance. This was a complete redefinition of what combat could mean. The humans weren't fighting back with traditional weapons. They were demonstrating a level of technological control that was almost magical. Jay knew this was just the beginning. The first message was being sent, a clear, unambiguous statement about human potential. We are here. We are different. We are not what you expected. As the first wave of alien attackers drifted helplessly, the horizon remained perfectly still. No aggressive moves, no unnecessary destructions. Just a calm, calculated demonstration of capabilities. The universe was watching, and humanity was about to make its point. Would you like me to continue with the next part of the story? The Krell-Talk command center erupted in chaos. Massive holographic displays showed hundreds of their most advanced fighter units suddenly rendered completely inactive. Commanders screamed conflicting orders, their sophisticated communication networks beginning to collapse under the weight of confusion and fear. Dr. Yoon-Ji Park watched the unfolding scenario with clinical precision. The Horizon's quantum adaptive systems were doing more than just defending. They were systematically dismantling the alien fleet's technological infrastructure. Computational analysis indicates total system penetration in approximately 94% of enemy vessels, Arya reported, its voice completely neutral. Captain Jae Hwang understood this was more than a battle. This was a demonstration of technological philosophy. Humans didn't just build weapons. They created intelligent systems that could think, adapt, and respond faster than biological intelligence could comprehend. Lieutenant Byung-Ki began tracking the psychological breakdown of the Krell-Talk fleet. Their communication channels were transforming from organized military coordination to pure panic. Each attempt to counter the human technology was instantly neutralized like a child trying to fight an advanced chess computer. The horizon wasn't even moving. It didn't need to. Its advanced AI was fighting the entire battle through invisible technological waves, compromising systems, redirecting energy signatures, creating impossible defensive barriers that defied known physics. Krell-Talk weapon systems began turning against themselves. Navigation computers suddenly redirected ships. Weapon platforms started firing at their own formations. The human technology wasn't just defending, it was actively turning the alien fleet's own systems into weapons of self-destruction. What made this more terrifying was the complete calm from the human vessel. No aggressive communications, no dramatic declarations, just pure, calculated technological control. Dr. Park noticed something interesting. The human systems were learning with each interaction. Every alien technological approach was being instantly analyzed, understood, and then neutralized, or repurposed. It was evolution happening in real time, but through computational intelligence. Adaptive learning at 99.9% efficiency, ARIA announced. The AI was treating the entire alien fleet like a complex mathematical problem waiting to be solved. The Krell-Talk had believed their technology was advanced. They had conquered multiple star systems. They had developed weapons that could destroy entire planetary bases. But they had never encountered a technological approach that was more than just advanced. It was fundamentally different. Jay watched the holographic displays, seeing how each alien tactical movement was being predicted and neutralized before it could even be fully implemented. It was like watching a master chess player already know the outcome of the game in the first few moves. Byung-Ki started recording the encounter. This would become a critical document in human military history, not just a battle, but a fundamental demonstration of technological philosophy. The quantum adaptive systems were doing something unprecedented. They weren't just defending or attacking. They were communicating. Each technological intervention was a message. Humanity was different. Humanity was unexpected. Humanity was beyond current galactic understanding. Entire squadrons of Krell-Talk vessels began to drift. Their systems completely compromised, their weapon platforms turned into nothing more than expensive metal sculptures floating in the vast darkness of space. Dr. Park made a subtle adjustment to the Horizon's systems. Another layer of technological complexity was added. Another level of adaptive intelligence introduced. The battle was becoming a lecture, a demonstration, a statement. We are not what you expected. We are something entirely new. As the minutes passed, the Krell-Talk fleet transformed from a powerful invasion force to a collection of helpless, drifting vessels. No destruction, no dramatic explosions, just complete technological neutralization. Jay knew the real message was being sent, not through words, not through weapons, but through pure, intelligent technological capability. Humanity had arrived, and the galaxy would never be the same. Would you like me to continue with the next part of the story? The final phase of the confrontation began with absolute silence. Commander Wu Xiok watched from the secondary control station as the Horizon transformed from a defensive platform into something far more precise and deadly. Aria's computational systems had now completely mapped the entire Krell-Talk fleet's technological infrastructure. Each alien vessel became nothing more than a complex mathematical equation waiting to be solved. The quantum adaptive systems were no longer just defending. They were preparing for total elimination. Dr. Yoon-Ji Park's fingers moved across the holographic interface with surgical precision. She wasn't just controlling a weapon system. She was conducting a technological symphony. Each movement, each calculation was a note in a complex musical arrangement of destruction. The Krell-Talk Command Center watched in horror as their most advanced vessels began to systematically shut down. Not through explosion or dramatic weapon discharge, but through pure computational manipulation. Systems failed. Power cores collapsed. Navigation became impossible. Lieutenant Byung-Ki tracked the elimination process. It wasn't random. It was methodical. Each vessel was being neutralized with mathematical perfection. No unnecessary damage, no wasteful destruction, just pure, calculated technological intervention. Captain J. Huang understood the deeper message. This wasn't just about winning a battle. This was about demonstrating a fundamental difference in technological approach. Humanity didn't just fight. They solved problems with unprecedented intelligence. The first wave of total elimination began. Entire squadrons of Kreltok vessels simply stopped functioning. Their advanced weapon systems became nothing more than expensive metal shells drifting. In the vast darkness of space, no explosions, no dramatic destruction, just complete technological surrender. Aria's voice remained calm. Total fleet neutralization at 87% and accelerating, the AI reported. Each second saw another layer of alien technological capability stripped away. The Kreltok command experienced something beyond fear. They were witnessing a level of technological control that defied their entire understanding of warfare. This wasn't a battle. This was a demonstration of evolutionary superiority. Dr. Park made a subtle adjustment. Another layer of computational complexity was introduced. The remaining alien vessels began to experience total system collapse. Not through violence, but through pure intelligent manipulation. Commander Wu Xiok watched the holographic displays. Each alien vessel was being transformed from a weapon of war into a helpless object. Navigation systems failed. Communication networks collapsed. Weapon platforms became nothing more than inert metal structures. The elimination was so precise that not a single human life was at risk. Each alien technological approach was anticipated, analyzed, and neutralized before it could become a threat. Byung-Ki began recording the encounter. This would become a defining moment in human military history. A demonstration of technological philosophy that went beyond traditional understanding of conflict. The final stages of elimination were almost clinical. The Horizon didn't need to fire a single traditional weapon. Its computational systems were the true weapon. Intelligent, adaptive, and utterly precise. Jay understood the psychological impact. The Kreltok weren't just being defeated. They were being educated, shown a level of technological capability that they could barely comprehend. Aria's final report was chillingly simple. Total fleet neutralization complete. 0 human casualties. Total alien technological infrastructure compromised. The vast darkness of space was now filled with thousands of drifting alien vessels. Silent. Helpless. A testament to human technological superiority. Dr. Park allowed herself a slight smile. The message was clear. Humanity was not what the galaxy expected. Humanity was something entirely different. The elimination was complete. Not through violence, not through destruction, but through pure intelligent technological control. Would you like me to continue with the final part of the story? The silence was profound. Thousands of drifting alien vessels surrounded the horizon, their once mighty technological systems now nothing more than cold, lifeless metal. Captain J. Huang stood perfectly still, his hands clasped behind his back, watching the holographic displays that mapped the total destruction of the Kreltok invasion force. Aria's quantum communication systems began preparing a transmission, not a complex message, not a dramatic speech, just a simple statement that would echo through the galaxy. Lieutenant Byung-Ki adjusted the communication frequency. The remaining Kreltok command structures were still attempting to understand what had just happened. Their most advanced fleet reduced to floating debris in mere moments. Dr. Yoon-Ji Park ran final computational analyses. The encounter wasn't just a battle. It was a statement, a declaration of human potential that would reshape galactic understanding. The communication channel opened. Thousands of alien receivers would hear the transmission simultaneously. Commanders, soldiers, technicians, all waiting for some explanation, some justification for their complete and total defeat. Jay stepped forward slightly. His voice was calm, measured, almost casual. "We are human," he said. Those 3 words carried more weight than entire libraries of explanation. No dramatic speeches, no extended justification, Just a simple, direct statement of identity. The Krell-talk. Communication networks erupted. Confusion, terror, incomprehension. How could a single vessel represent such total technological superiority? How could a species they had considered primitive demonstrate such complete control? Area continued broadcasting. The message across multiple frequencies. The statement repeated. A calm beacon in the vast darkness of space. We are human. Byung-ki watched the psychological impact spread through alien communication networks. The fear was palpable. This wasn't just a defeat. This was a fundamental reshaping of galactic understanding. Dr. Park noted the computational responses. The alien systems were trying to analyze the transmission, to find some hidden meaning. But there was none. Just a direct, simple statement of existence. The horizon remained motionless. No additional weapons discharged. No further demonstrations of technological capability. Just a calm presence surrounded by the remnants of what was supposed to be an unstoppable invasion force. Commander Wu Shok prepared the initial mission. Report. How do you describe a confrontation that redefined the meaning of technological warfare? How do you explain a victory that wasn't about destruction, but about demonstration? Jay knew the message would spread, not through official channels, not through diplomatic communications, but through the raw, terrifying experience of this moment. Word would travel faster than any official report. The alien vessels continued to drift, silent, helpless, a testament to human potential. We are human, Arya continued to broadcast. Simple, direct, unchanging. Lieutenant Byung-ki could see the psychological breakdown happening in real time. The Krell-talk command structure was collapsing, not through violence, not through traditional warfare, but through the pure, unexpected demonstration of human capability. Dr. Park made a final computational adjustment. The message would continue, broadcasting, a constant reminder of what had just occurred. Jay returned to his command chair. The mission was complete. The message was sent. The universe would never be the same. We are human. 3 words that would echo through countless star systems. A declaration, a warning, a promise. Humanity had arrived. Would you like me to provide any additional details or modifications to the story?